What's up, Buttercup? Welcome back to Raw Truth. And I'm Lake, and around here, we don't pretend like we have life figured out. We're just talking about what we're going through as we're going through it. So depending on when you're listening, grab your cocktail or your coffee and let's get into it. You know the saying that there's so many more fish in the sea? My saying is, yeah, there is a lot of fish in the sea, but you have to weed out the guppies first. Today's dating world can feel a lot like fishing. Somehow, you keep catching the same freaking guppy with a goddamn different name. And it's just so repetitive and annoying, all in the same thing. Yeah, there is plenty of fish in the sea, but there is not very many that you actually want to keep in your live well and not return back to it. So that's what we're talking about today, is how to weed out the freaking guppies. Stop wasting your time on them and start recognizing the fish that are worth keeping and the ones that you just need to toss the fuck back. They got some growing to do. So what is a guppy? Definition of a guppy in my world is low effort, inconsistent, breadcrumbs the shit out of you, saying all the right things with no freaking follow through, because actions speak so much louder than words. Wants a relationship, benefits without actually committing to you, avoids accountability, and gives the classic, let's just see where this goes. So I have obviously had plenty of fucking guppies in my day. I had this one guy that absolutely became obsessed with me within literally weeks. And I'm not going to get into details because this guy was super fucking nice. And we're just going to say he was a guppy. I've had other situations where I have been told all the right goddamn things. And then come to find out, like, there was zero fucking follow through. Guppy. In more recent dating life stuff, there's been, here's a good one. This one time I met this guy on a dating app. This was been probably a year or so now, maybe 6 months ago. I don't know which time it happened, but met this guy on the dating app. Literally exchanged numbers, like within 24 hours of talking on the dating app. This guy went out and sent me pictures of bows. I don't even know if I'm explaining this right. Hunting bows. And told me he was going to go buy one for me. It was purple. And this is within 24 hours of giving out my phone number to him. So we're talking within 48 hours, this guy was going to go drop $300 to $400 on a bow for me. I don't even know. That's just a guess of what they are. And as soon as he said that, I was like, yeah, no, ick, red flag, run. That's a guppy. That's a guppy in my world, and we don't want them. So in other words, for red flags or guppies that we should not ignore is hot and cold fucking behavior. If they are hot one day and they're giving you all the attention and the next day they're being cold as shit, it's because they're fucking giving all their attention to some other girl that second day probably. Or they're just not that into you. And they're just keeping you around for a fucking option. And you're much better than a fucking option. We're all much better than a fucking option. Inconsistent communication without a reason behind it. And just, I gotta tread lightly because this is something I'm going through, but not in a red flag kind of way. But inconsistent behavior as in, same thing with hot and cold, just back and forth. Love bombing the shit out of you. And if you guys don't know what a love bombing situation is, let me explain it for you. If they are trying to write you love letters, buy you flowers, buy you gifts, saying all the right things, telling you that they love you immediately, these are love bombing situations. If they are literally, there is a difference, you guys. There is a difference between actually caring about someone and being not so healthy attachment like style and actually love bombing. Because as an anxious attachment girly, we do tend to have love bombing tendencies. Not a fucking excuse. Do not use that against me. I am a healing anxious attachment girly. So as a anxious attachment girly, it is not a freaking excuse to say that love bombing is okay. It is not okay. Anxious attachment is still bad. It's still toxic. You need to heal it. You need to get into a secure attachment style. Anyways, back to my story. Love bombing is bad. Run. Or the I'm just really fucking busy and they're not making any type of effort towards you, and then doesn't actually make any plans, talks about it, and then no fucking follow through. Still hung up on their ex. I am telling you guys, if they cannot talk at least like respectful about their ex, that is a red flag. If all that they can tell you is they're fucking crazy, they're probably not actually crazy. Because think about it. How many times has an ex told other people that you're fucking crazy? Because I can count on all 10 hands, 10 fingers and toes that that's probably happened to me. And I am crazy, but at the same time, my crazy was brought on by something else, usually. Not all the time, but usually. Never actually asks any questions about you and wants to get to know you. That's also a guppy. You probably should run from that one. And doesn't keep their goddamn word. When you have to lie to people to get your friends to like them, like, that's a red flag. I have done that before. I have made up excuses for the person that I am in a relationship with just to get my family to like them or my friends to like them. Or, oh, they're not so much a bitch after you get used to it, after you get to know them. No, that's not how that works. People are bitches just to be bitches. Don't make excuses for them. There's so many times. I like see red flags and I like run at it like a goddamn bull. Like, I can't explain it, but I have a tendency of my type being red flags. I'm working on it. Like I said, I am in my healing era and I am working towards trying to not be such a fucking crazy lady, okay? Green flags that actually matter is consistent communication. Consistency, period. If they start off at having, like, they work all day and they don't talk to you while they're at work and then they catch up with you and they call you once a night, that's consistent. If they are able to text you while they're at work and they talk to you throughout the day, that's consistent. If they only call you every other day or every so often or maybe on your lunch hour and it's consistent, then that's a green flag. Clear communication that they are going to be super busy this weekend and they have a lot going on, probably not going to hear from them. Or they're going to go make supper, or they are whatever, and they're explaining to you what is happening and they are going to be consistent about it. Making plans and follows through with those plans. If they say that they want to go on a date this weekend with you and they make it happen, 100% green flag. Takes accountability when you have a issue. Do not ever get into a relationship until you fucking fight with them. Because you're going to be able to tell if they can take accountability for the fight, as well as you. Can you take accountability for the fight that you just went through, the argument that you just went through? Like, can you both step back and look at what just happened and still have both of you feel heard and understood at the end of it? Because that is the biggest thing. There's like a few things that I have, it might be in this notebook, that it might be in my other notebook, but that I will not get into a relationship until I have gone through these experiences with a person. Because it is so telling at how they're going to handle shit when shit gets hard. Makes you feel calm instead of confused. If you have insecurities, if you have issues or questions or whatever the fuck it is, they make you feel safe to talk to them about it. I have this really bad, this is so toxic, you guys. This is bad. Like, I know this is a problem and I'm working through it and it is getting better, especially when I first got back into the dating realm. I wasn't even in the dating realm. I just don't trust anybody, honestly. And that started off as friends first, but I don't fucking trust anybody, period. And I have this really bad thing where I don't fucking believe them of what they're doing. And without, like, we have talked about this, but without me even having to ask, I get sent pictures and videos when something super outrageous happens. And they joke about it and they say, this is receipts. This is so toxic, but I appreciate you. It's helping me heal through this and be able to trust you. I know that's toxic. And the first step is like accountability and like the whatever 14-step program. I don't know what it is, 7-step program, whatever the fuck it is. But I am taking accountability. That is a problem. And I know it's a problem. I'm working on it, okay, you guys? Respects your boundaries. When you say something, they're not pushing the limit. When you tell them that you want to take things slow, they're respecting your boundaries. When you tell them that they can't be around your kid for X amount of time, they're respecting the boundaries. Shows genuine interest in getting to know you. I cannot tell you how much of a green flag it is when the guy's like, "Ooh, I'm making note of that." Or they'll put it in like their notes app of like your favorite color or your favorite whatever, and they keep track of it so then they don't forget later on. Because let's be honest, guys are dumb and they forget a lot of shit. So when a guy takes like the extra step to say that they're taking note of something, this warms my fucking heart. Green flag. And the biggest one is matches. Actions speak louder than words. So just matching their words with their actions and just following through with whatever the fuck they're telling us to follow through with. Sometimes healthy green flags can feel really boring, especially in a world where we all grow up with insecurities and these attachments that are passed down generational. And we just love the fucking chaos. I know I have been really trying to break that, especially in the last year. It's so crazy to think that it's been a year since I got into like my first healthy-ish relationship. And trying to like, not even healthy, just like someone that's willing to grow with me and like understand my insecurities and my attachment style, and them also being aware of their insecurities and their attachment style. It's super like triggering in a way when shit feels boring. It's almost like your brain wants to just create chaos and create this whole disturbance within the relationship and just self-sabotage it just to make it feel safe. Because growing up, a lot of us, I know in my generation, have all these triggers of like chaos. Like our parents were the first generation that went through divorces. And our parents were the first generation that stayed because of the kids. And we saw a lot of shit growing up. We saw a lot of shit. We saw our parents go through a lot of shit. We saw our parents struggle. We saw our friends' parents struggle. Like, it's kind of a rare breed when you meet somebody and you're like, are your parents still married? And they're like, yeah. It's kind of rare nowadays because it's almost like the norm just to get divorced in a way. And I'm not saying that's a good or a bad thing. I'm just saying it caused us to go through a lot of shit that made it really chaotic, because then your whole fucking life gets flipped upside down, where you originally were going through a family and being all together, and then all of a sudden you have 2 Christmases, 2 birthdays, 2 this, 2 that, and you're switching back and forth, and your parents are fighting, and they're bringing all the shit to you, and you're having to deal with their fucking drama. And then they don't have time for your drama, and it's just chaotic as fuck. I remember staying at my boyfriend's parents' house a lot when my parents were going through a divorce, and then his parents went through a divorce, and then he stayed at my parents' house a lot on the couch. And it just was like, I know that both of us went through a lot of shit as we were growing up because we both had a lot of chaos that just happened. So now that we are trying to find ourselves, trying to find a healthy relationship, and it just feels fucking boring because green flags are calm. And what we grew up as like finding our safe place was just like being safe in the chaos. So it's just such a switch in your brain that you have to flip off. Okay, back to story because I got off topic, which tends to happen. Why we keep choosing fucking guppies? Because we confuse chemistry with compatibility. Not everybody has the capacity for the relationship. They might have potential and they might have chemistry with you and they might feel so fucking good to be in their presence, but as soon as you like separate, they don't put you as a priority. We fall for fucking potential. I've talked about that time and time again, that we fall in love with people's potential before we even get to know them. And then we're already so in love with their potential, and by the time that we get to know them, we're already in so fucking deep that we just stick around. We ignore the patterns that keep happening. They go MIA when shit gets real. Or they go off the deep end and block you for 12 hours because they're pissed at you. Or they blow your fucking phone up. All red flags. We have this fear of being alone, and that's just like our DNA and how we are wired chemistrily in our brain is to find our person. That's how, if you look back at the Bible, we're supposed to find our person, and we took the rib from our missing person, or from, whatever. Or if just like soul ties, and like we're supposed to grow, meet our person, and then continue to grow, and then we move on to the next life. It's just, we're so afraid of being alone that we will stick with somebody because that's just what's right in front of us, because it's so much scarier to go and look outward. Thinking that we can fix someone. I used to be the girl that would put on her freaking hard hat and grab her hammer and put on her high-vis vest because I just wanted you to be your full potential. Because when I get into a relationship, I see all their potential and I just want to fix them and I just want to make them feel whole because that's just the type of person I am. I'm an empath and I want to make people feel loved because I'm a lover girl at heart and I like to feel loved. And then my thought process is like, if you feel loved, then you'll love me and never leave me. And if I help you help yourself, you'll see the value in me and you'll never leave me. Wrong. Red flag. And then settling because any attention feels like good attention. And this is just like your freaking neglected dog. Your high maintenance freaking German Shepherd, right? That just loves attention. This is same with kids. We'll give it both analogies. I have done a ton of training with my dog, and I feel like a lot of my parenting has come from what I have learned with my dog training. Because a dog likes attention no matter what kind of attention it is. So if you have a high-strung German Shepherd puppy that just has energy for fucking days, she will act out if she needs your attention, even though it's bad attention. Same with kids. If your baby, I talked about this on my last episode, she felt neglected because I didn't hardly see her last weekend. So she acted the fuck out. Even though it was bad attention she was getting, she still wanted the attention. So that shit is like instilled into our DNA that if we are getting any type of attention, it's still attention. So we need to just stop romanticizing the potential in people because, goddamn, if you need a reminder, go back and watch that one. So how do we weed out these fucking guppies in this sea of men or women, honestly? Stop fucking chasing. Plain and simple. Don't fucking chase them. Don't text them first. Stop texting them first every time. If they leave you on a closed-ended reply, just leave it. If they're actually interested, they'll reach back out. I promise you. I fucking promise you. And the relationships that I feel like have gotten the most traction and like the fastest to seeing if they're legit or not and like seeing the real them is the ones that I played hard to get a little bit. I fucking match energy. And the energy starts with them. And I even have that in my dating apps when I was on dating apps. I'm not anymore. But when I was on them, it literally says, I will match your energy. You can reach out to me first. I just set it up. And that's just how I am. And I still am that way. I have a guy that I like to talk to. I don't text him first. I don't reply unless he replies. I don't blow his phone up. If he's not texting me, I don't reply. Like, I don't send him more shit. So watch the actions. Here we go. Actions speak louder than words. How to weed them out is just pay attention to the patterns that's happening. Believe the patterns that are happening. Don't make up excuses for them. If they seem fucking off, call it out. So then you know where you stand with it. And see if it's a bullshit answer or not. See if they change. Are they going to try to, if you have an insecurity, are they going to send you a fucking photo, like a receipt of what they were doing to make you feel better? Just because they know it makes you feel better? Pay attention to the patterns. Ask the hard questions early. So many people hate that I do this. And honestly, if they don't like it, that's an answer for me. I'm an open fucking book. If you can't talk to me about if you want kids or not in 5 years, if you can't talk to me about your political views, if you can't talk to me about what should a woman do in a household in a marriage? Oh, I don't want to talk about marriage. Well, good. I don't want to talk to you. So, bye. Take your goddamn time. So after you know all these things, take your time. Set up that freaking minimum month rule before you will be committed, because you are intentionally dating. Let them know that you are intentionally dating. You are not committed to them and you are still talking to other men or women until you feel like you're both at the same point in alignment to settle down. Let people earn access into your life. Do not just let them come in and be in your presence. Like, they should have to earn it. They should have to work for it a little bit, right? I think this is why I like dating long distance, because the actions really have to show up in order for me to know that they're legit about it. So, I don't know why I put this in here, but it's kind of funny. Sometimes we just like to rate our fish ratings, and we got a guppy, a goldfish, a dolphin, and a shark, right? So there's a bunch of different situations here, and they're all valid, but just like, there's only a couple that we want to keep around. So guppies obviously are low effort. They're waiting for you to send them that good morning text, or for you to set up the date, or for you to figure it out. Pick where you're going to choose to eat. Oh, I fucking hate that, especially in the beginning. Don't fucking ask me. Have the date planned out, brah. I don't want to date some loser. So if you're a guy listening to this and you're asking a girl where she wants to eat on the first date, don't do that. Like, that's just low effort. Put in some fucking effort. Tell her, hey, dress like this. We're going here. This is what we're doing. Even if it's a freaking ice cream. Dress cute and casual. We're going for ice cream. Plain and simple. Breadcrumbs you. Mixed signals. Wants all the benefits but no fucking commitment. Guppies. Goldfish is they are a freaking nice person, but they're not your person. And that's okay. I've had lots of goldfish in my life. Just not my person. And there's a person out there for them. I think that's one of the things that like gets me okay with the situation is like, you're not my person, but there's someone out there that's going to be anxiously attached just like you, and you guys will mold together so nicely. Just not me. Not me. Dolphin, emotionally mature, consistent, communicates, keeps their word, and makes you feel safe. This is like the one fish rating that can move on to the next level in the sea of men, okay? Is the guy that's emotionally mature, consistent, communicates, keeps their word, and makes you feel safe. I have this girlfriend, and I think about this every single time I think about the word emotionally mature in men. They're engaged now. They have first started dating years ago, and he literally, their first argument, she was like over it. She's like, I'm done. I don't want anything to do with you. I'm fucking done. And I think they met up for coffee the next day, but he showed up with a fucking notebook to take notes. Can you just like, what the fuck? Like when she told me that, that's the one thing that I think about when I think of emotionally mature men. It's like, if he's willing to show up and take notes and try to make it better, emotionally mature. Now there's also a shark. Sharks are bad, remember? They feed off of bleeding things, right? So they manipulate, they love bomb, they gaslight, they don't respect your boundaries. These are the ones that you run from. You swim really, 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 really fast and you get the fuck out. I think that sharks are also probably considered narcissists, but that's okay. We're not going to go there. So questions for the listeners is, am I dating who they are, or am I dating who I hope that they'll become? Because if that's the case, you need to go back and listen to my dating potential. Have I been ignoring red flags because the chemistry is so strong? This is like screams my last relationship. Does the person bring me peace or confusion? Would I want my best friend dating someone like this, or my sister dating someone like this? And am I settling because I'm freaking lonely and I don't want to do it on my own? So, just because there's plenty of fish in the sea doesn't mean that you have to catch every single one. Toss back the freaking guppies and the goldfish and the sharks, because we don't want those in our life, okay? So remember, you don't have to have it all figured out. Just keep showing up, keep filling your fucking cup, and keep living your raw truth.